Hello everyone. Just imagine you have corporate agreement from your company between your teams or requirement from security team. We can use only any Docker image from local registry. Docker registry, which present inside of our infrastructure, not in remote. Not in hub docker.com or any public registry. So do that. We needed to prepare stuff where if we use any public image storing our Docker container registry, and do that, we must prepare some CI flow from where any developers or DevOps engineers can create pull request with new image. Of course, any member of the DevOps team can review this change and approve this. After approval, of course, it will be pulled and pushed to the remote Docker registry. If, of course, it's not present in the remote Docker registry, but then we started to think we must prepare multi-platform stuff. At the same time, when I started to write this code file, I prepared Nexus Docker registry where I can push it, but to validate image which it's present in remote or not. Unfortunately, I couldn't find built-in method in Python SDK how I can check really image present in remote or not. Of course, I could use internal API of the Nexus, but it's not dynamic way and universal, and not universal way because in your environment you can use totally different registries than Nexus. And do that, I started to find universal way, and I found at the same time, if I will use multi-platform time, just imagine you have Mac users at the same time Linux users which use their desktops. If they try to pull any image from our local Docker registry server, the image must be pulled to their environment too. And to that, I found official documentation from Docker official page, where we can create manifest files to store platform image information type, and anything will be present in action. So just imagine we have simple flow. Inside of CI, we will use container where will be present all Python libraries at the same time, client which we use inside of Python code, Docker client. And after that, Python code image py, I will show, of course, each of them. We'll read image list text file line by line. If it will not present, image in remote registry, registry where placed in your local environment, it will be pulled and then pushed to the remote registry with a multi-platform type, of course. So actually, this is registry. So if you will execute the code file first time, of course, external folder will be created on the fly. So I will not to simulate this part too. It's not interesting. I just simulated Nginx folder, and all code files related to this image puller and pusher present inside of this repository. Of course, at the end of the video, I will write the link to description of the YouTube video too. So let me switch to the part of the codes. We have image text file. We have image py, where it's a main part from where if Python code will be executed, image py will be executed. It will call settings from where comes variables to authenticate with the registry and endpoints of the registry and anything actually. And the functions itself, which will be used to check remote repository, to check clients, to check file exists or not, anything related to this will be present there. Important part here, of course, I will show each of them. So just imagine when you create Docker manifest, you will execute Docker manifest create command to create manifest for your platform. Information will be stored under this folder. So if I will execute, just look at this part. Right now I have defined only Nginx image inside of image text, and do that. It's created folder with this name, with the registry, external endpoint, and the name of the image itself and the tag version actually. It's not present because I have moved it, but even if I'm not wrong, I moved it, on the temporary folder to simulate it. But even if I will try it right now to do Docker inspect, Docker manifest inspect, same image which pushed, insecure because I'm not using HTTPS protocol, I'm using HTTPS and HTTPS. And to do that, I must to give this argument. Of course, I did Docker login to my registry endpoint from CLI. At the same time, I do Docker CLI login inside of code too. So all this part written, you will find code functions inside of function py2. So as we see, Docker inspect manifest shows us we have two platform types here, and it's pushed to the remote. Actually, it is going to read from remote than local. As you see, I moved local folder even to the temporary folder. It's not present here. Even if I will try to add new image here, another important part I want to say, if we will not define this environment variable, Docker manifest command will not work correctly, and I found it from official page too. And about manifest itself, you can read official documentation, which I defined here too. Even myself read it from there. So I'm going to execute Python code again. So as we see, for Nginx, manifest file not created, but for HTTP, manifest file created for the platform Arch AMD64 and ARM64. If I will do refresh remote repository, we can see HTTP present here. Then I will switch back to the functions. So let me even uncomment this part, execute code file again. We will see manifest files analyzed each time to see from the remote really they present in the remote or not. So I will do comment back this part too to see only image exists, to see only print part of the image exists or not. Then I will try to switch this part too with the new image. Redis. If I am not wrong, Redis not present. So yeah, only HTTP Nginx to simulate what will be happen then. So Redis not present. But look at this part. We didn't push manifest itself because this function create manifest, do annotation, and push it to remote. If I will switch to the registry itself, open manifest folder, we can see this is predefined manifest which came from public repository and pushed here, but manifest which we created, not pushed yet, because we didn't create and pushed it to remote. If I will switch to the part where it will be created and pushed, execute it again, so it is pushed. Just remember, AC0B, it's old manifest which came from public image itself. AC0B, we must see right now after refresh new manifest which we created ourselves. So actually this is which we created right now. If I will do execution again, nothing happened because it's checked from each of the image to the remote. If it's present remotely, of course, we will not do anything. If it's not present, it will be pulled and pushed again. So that's it actually. I hope it will be useful.